UFC Fight Night Seattle, Song Yadong versus Henry Cejudo is this Saturday, and it's looking interesting. You might look at this card and say, ranked contenders in the main event, Allen versus Hernandez co-main, Rob Font and Gene Silva have fights, doesn't look too bad to me. But what if I told you this card has had 7 fight cancellations? That's right, 7. And these cancellations have pulled 5 ranked fighters from this card. So what might look like a not so bad fight night is pretty bleak compared to what the Seattle fans paid for initially. Now, in the prelims, we had 4 of these cancellations. Women's bantamweight matchup between 3rd-ranked Caitlin Vieira and 5th-ranked Macy Chassion is cancelled due to an injury on Chasion's side. No news as of yet if they'll get that fight rebooked. As of now, that's just the state it's in. Adam Fugit versus Billy Ray Goff was cancelled in the men's welterweight division. That's 2 weeks in a row with a fight cancellation for Billy Ray Goff, who originally had a fight lined up last Saturday on the Cannonier versus Rodriguez card. And the second fight cancellation of this card for Fugit, who was also supposed to face off against Islam Duladov before that was cancelled as well. He just cannot take a break. Neither of these guys can. Undefeated 7-0 Mansour Abdul Malik was set to face off against Mackenzie Dern's ex-boyfriend Antonio Tricoli before the fight was eventually cancelled. Mansour remains on the card with a new opponent, Nick Klein. And on the main card, we had 3 fight cancellations. 5th-ranked heavyweight Curtis Blades, who just fought for the interim title against Tom Aspinall, was set to take on debut fighter Rizvan Kuniev on this main card. Absolutely bonkers matchmaking here to begin with, and this fight was actually just moved from this card to the UFC 313 pay-per-view, Pereira vs. Ankalaev. So for some reason, we'll still get to see this fight go down. Nice. UFC veteran and 15th ranked featherweight at the time, Edson Barboza was set to take on rising prospect Steve Garcia. Edson went out with an injury, and a replacement for Garcia just couldn't be found in time to make this card. And finally, 9th ranked bantamweight Rob Font was set to take on former champion Dominic Cruz, before Cruz unfortunately had to withdraw from the fight due to injury, resulting in his retirement. So obviously, props to Cruz on a great, albeit injury-ridden career. Kind of ironic he had to go out this way. I wish it wasn't the case. But Font is actually remaining on the card, taking on undefeated 16-0 prospect Gene Matsumoto on short notice. Now, like I said before, this card isn't terrible now by any means, but the name value of Cruz, Blades, and Barbosa alone was a huge wow factor for this card, and one of the main selling points for those fans in Seattle, let alone all the other fighters this card lost. I think at this point, this card might just be truly cursed. If it had stayed together, it had potential to be one of the best fight nights of the year, undoubtedly so on paper at least. I'm still looking forward to the fights, but a part of me will be left wondering what we could have had. This will go down as one of the most cursed, cancel-ridden cards in recent memory. And ultimately, I just hope the fans in Seattle and us at home still get some great fights to watch live. Let me know what you guys think of all these fight cancellations down below. Are you still excited to see Song Yadong versus Henry Cejudo and the Seattle card? And yeah, I'll see ya.